Did you know that hatred is a family value? I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
Welcome to the program, friend. Hatred is a family value. The reason I'm saying that is because there's like this bumper sticker out there that says hate is not a family value. Have you ever seen it? No, hate is a family value. The Bible says that the fear of the Lord, to fear the Lord is to hate evil. And I think that what a lot of us in America need right now is for a wave of righteous hatred to sweep over us and for us to let it revive our souls. The truth of the matter is, friend, all kidding aside, there have been so many politically correct mouthpieces browbeating us to cause us to abandon right and wrong. All right? This is evil. This is good. And say we've got to be tolerant, we've got to be pluralistic, we've got to be diverse, blah, blah, blah. So that we've lost a passion and a hatred for that which is evil. Listen, the Bible is true. The Bible says to fear the Lord is to hate evil. Read Proverbs chapter 6. Read the things that the Lord hates. Okay, if you want to be like Jesus, which we do as Christians, then we have to hate certain things. We have to hate hands that shed innocent blood. We have to hate those that sow discord among brethren. These are things that the Lord hates. Read it for yourself, okay? And I don't care what Obama says about being a hater. Now, you watch this episode, and if there is not something inside of you that rises to the level of hatred of these evil acts and what they're doing to young girls, then I'm just going to say you need to look in the mirror and say, is there something wrong with me? Welcome to the program, friend. We are in the middle of a 5-part special on Planned Parenthood and President Obama. In today's segment and in tomorrow's, we are going to cover some of the most insidious and dark material that we have ever covered on this show. I recommend that you tell any small children that are with you to either go to another room or that you record this, if you have the ability, and play it at a later date. If you've just joined us in the middle of this series, you can go to our website, voiceofresistance.com, where we focus intensely on President Obama's words that he recently gave at a Planned Parenthood conference, and we focus on the wicked deeds of Planned Parenthood. Now, give honor to whom honor is due. Lila Rose and her organization, Live Action, have done an incredible job with undercover research to bring to light the fact that Planned Parenthood is involved in covering up sex trafficking. In other words, they are involved in a federal crime. We're going to show you footage today that Lila Rose and her organization brought to the surface. We tip our hat to you, Lila, if you get to see this. You've done a phenomenal job. We also want to honor Mark Crutcher, Life Dynamics, childpredators.com. They spent an enormous amount of time getting nearly 900 recordings, mostly at Planned Parenthood offices, showing that Planned Parenthood was absolutely willing to break the law regarding reporting sexual crimes against minors. All right? They had a woman posing to be a 13-year-old calling and saying that her boyfriend was 22. This is statutory rape. In most states, it's a felony. And in most states, Planned Parenthood is required by law to report to the police immediately when they know that a girl is the victim of a sexual crime. Well, over and over, Planned Parenthood showed that they were willing to cover for the predator and leave the young girl in her sexual abuse and sexual bondage. We will play some of those clips today and in tomorrow's program as well. Now, to set this up almost for comic relief, I want to play a clip from President Obama's speech at Planned Parenthood.
Because the women you serve know you and they trust you. And the reason for that is that you haven't let them down before.
President Obama, are you joking? I mean, did you mean to make us laugh? Or is your heart so hard and your soul so sick that you would stoop to such a lie? The Planned Parenthood was serving women, and they go and they have women's best interests in mind. His speech was full of that. All right. As I stated, Lila Rose, professional actor, they go into Planned Parenthood, and he poses as a pimp, the woman poses as a prostitute. Let's play the first clip.
Is it confidential talking or? Okay. So I'm involved in sex work. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Okay. There's some girls that I kind of manage, and I think I might have caught it from one of them.
All right. Now, he just told them, I am a pimp. All right? She works at a Planned Parenthood. He says, I manage several girls. We're in the sex industry, the sex trade, okay? He's a pimp. She knows he's a pimp. Now, when we come back from this break, we're going to play more clips from this interview in which he tells this worker that he has 14 and 15-year-old girls that he is selling. And what do you think the worker does at Planned Parenthood? I'll be right back. Don't go away.
Oh, okay. Let me stop you right here, because if you tell me anything else, I have to call the police.
Why?
Because you're 13 and your partner's 22, right?
Yeah.
That's against the law. I have to report it by law.
Oh.
So I don't want to know your name or anything about you if you don't want me calling the police.
Okay.
So what you need to do is you need to call completely anonymously and, talk to someone on our appointment line.
Okay.
And don't tell us anything about who your partner is.
Okay.
Okay?
Christians must be involved in government, period. If Christians weren't involved in government, we would not have a United States of America. And there have been brilliant Christian minds over the centuries, such as John Locke, who is called the philosopher of American liberty. He was quoted by Clarence Thomas in his recent dissent on the homosexual marriage decision. If we don't understand John Locke, we don't understand the founding of America. I want to send you this book and my book, The Sword, subtitled The Blessing of Righteous Government and The Overthrow of Tyrants. I want to send you these two books for a gift of whatever you can afford. Pay the $8 shipping and handling, which does not cover our costs, and then give a gift of whatever size you want, and we'll send you these books. If you cannot afford anything but the $8, can't even afford that, write us a note, and we'll send them to you for free. I want you to have these books so that you can be better equipped to fight in the political arena. Come on, order them today. Welcome back to the program, friend. I want to play the clip again for you in case you just joined us, where this man identifies himself as a pimp to a Planned Parenthood employee.
Is it confidential talking or? Okay. So I'm involved in sex work. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Okay. There's some girls that I kind of manage, and I think I might have caught it from one of them.
All right. Now, he is going to tell the woman the ages of the girls, and listen to this conversation. Listen closely.
But like some of them kind of young, you know, like 14 to 17 type range. But some of them are from like out of this country though. So it's like they don't, you know, they're not going to speak that good in English. So would I be able to come in here and help them fill out the paperwork or fill out their information because they're going to have a hard time reading it, a hard time knowing it. They're going to have to be walked through it, and otherwise they're not going to be able to get any help. They're going to be just like, you're just going to leave, you know.
Right.
So
we do have translation services here.
Okay.
What are the ages of them again?
From 14 to about 17.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys will be able to help them out, like.
Yeah, I mean, we do see
keeping them safe and whatnot.
teens that young.
Okay.
We do encourage parental involvement.
Yeah. I'm definitely trying my best to make sure that everything is safe for them. Okay.
I can give you our telephone, but anybody here can help you. I mean, and
Okay.
everything here is confidential. We can't give any information out.
Okay.
Are you hearing? 14 to 17. Now, he has just confessed to this woman, who is required by law to tell the authorities when there is a sexual crime being committed against a minor. He has just told her that he is running a prostitution ring with girls that are 14 to 17 years old, and that some of them are immigrants. Read illegals. Read, more importantly, that they're involved probably in sexual slavery. Congress has had hearings on this. The authorities know in major cities right now that there are girls who have been smuggled into the country from the four corners of the globe who are underage. They have been brought here and they are literally living in sexual slavery. He has just told her that he is involved in this. But worse, she says, well, we do, he says, I want them safe. It's like saying, I've got a woman in another room and I cut her at night. She's chained to the wall and I cut her at night, but I want her safe. I want to make sure that these wounds heal properly. They don't get infected, because if she gets a bad infection, I won't be able to cut her and enjoy this the way I really like it. He is sexually abusing these girls himself. He tells the Planned Parenthood employee that he thinks he got the STD from one of these minors. And he wants them all tested because he's involved with all of them sexually, as well as selling them sexually on the street. This is appalling. This is disgusting. This is a criminal act. And she says, well, we do encourage parental involvement, to which he says, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to make sure they're safe. Read between the lines. I'm their daddy. Did you know that in the prostitution world that the pimp is referred to as daddy or the daddy? That's how he responds. God save us. Christ save us. Jesus save us. Some are kind of young. Can I help fill out the paperwork for them? In other words, I'm going to lie. I'm going to read this paperwork, and I'm going to make sure that it says what some government official wants it to say, so that I can keep my prostitution ring going. And then she finishes up saying, anybody here can help you. And it's all confidential. We will commit to you, sir, that we will keep your business thriving. We'll keep it confidential. We won't go to the authorities, even though we are required by law to do so. Do you see how sick this is? Have they no compassion? They're going to allow him to trot a group of 14, 15, 16-year-old girls into the office, girls who are clearly in sexual slavery, girls who are clearly walking crime scenes, and they're saying to him, we're going to let you fill out the paperwork, we're going to let you keep your crime a secret, and we're going to let you retain confidentiality even though you're committing a crime. Is this unusual? Let's go to another city when we come back from this break. This actor's doing a great job, by the way. I don't know who he is, but he deserves an Emmy for this. I'll be right back.
Yeah, but it's a legal thing. So,
well, what could happen?
well, he could get in trouble, not you, but he could. So,
Well, are you going to tell on him?
no, I won't. But maybe when you go to the doctor, you shouldn't tell them how old your boyfriend is.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be better.
Okay.
Just, maybe have a girlfriend come with you and tell him your boyfriend's 16 or something.
Oh,
Because he could get in a lot of trouble.
okay.
Okay, so don't say anything about that.
Friend, we are in the middle of producing a 14-part epic television series called What Would Mohammed Do?, explaining Islam and ISIS to the West. I have a master's degree in international terrorism, and I have studied ancient Islamic texts for over a decade. And we are going to do a very paced and a very scholarly look at Muhammad's life and see the connection of his life to today's headlines. Well, we need your help on 3 levels. 1, we need help with some security measures. 2, we need help with some gear for the studio. And 3, we need help with some computers. I'm inviting you to go to the GoFundMe site that you see on the screen and watch the pilot for episode 1. You'll get a feel for what it's going to be, and I promise you, you're going to be excited. You'll be challenged, and you're going to want your friends to see it. And then after you've seen it, give what you can to help us with this project. Thank you. Welcome back, friend. The man posing as a pimp goes to another abortion mill. That first segment we saw was from Charlottesville, Virginia, I believe, and the next one is Falls Church, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. He goes into the Planned Parenthood. He tells the woman that he has VD. He's got a sexually transmitted disease. And then this is what he says.
I'm involved in sex work.
Okay.
Okay. I believe I got it from one of the women that I manage.
Okay.
It could be her or several of the other girls.
Okay.
And they will need to be tested as well.
Right.
All right. He tells her, I've got VD, and I think I got it from one of the girls that I manage in the sex trade. All right? Once again, he goes right to the core of the matter. I am a pimp, and I have prostitutes, and I want to bring them here. But again, to show the criminal conspiracy that Planned Parenthood is involved in, he then continues by telling their age.
Now, we have some girls that they do not necessarily have all the documentation. Some of them are from out of the country. Okay. Then we have a couple of girls that are pretty young, about 14, 15, but they need to be safe as well. I need to make sure that they're safe.
All right? You heard it. I've got young girls. They don't have documentation. They're here as immigrants. They're 14 and 15 years old. And again, his line, I want them to be safe. By definition, they're not safe. They are the victims of crimes. And then here's what Planned Parenthood finally says in response.
A lot of people who don't have documentation, there are clinics and stuff they can go to that don't require even a photo ID. So I mean,
Really?
it's not.
Really? Do you know of any?
I'm pretty sure the health department.
The health department.
Is one.
The health
They
department.
have to live in that county though. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If they
yeah.
live in Fairfax County, they
Yeah.
can go to Fairfax Health Department. If they
Yeah, we have an address we can give them. Okay.
Yeah. So and that's free testing too. So that might be.
Okay. And even for the younger girls, they can get tested there too as well. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to refuse service. I mean,
Okay. And even here, they can get you said they can get the birth control here still, and they can get the testing here as well.
No one will be denied service. Sir, we are committed to keeping your prostitution ring with illegal, underage young women. All right, the girls aren't illegal, but they're here as illegal immigrants, probably smuggled into the country. We're going to keep your prostitution ring in business, and we're going to break the law, and we're not going to tell the authorities, even though we are required by law to do so. This is a criminal conspiracy. It is damnable. Some of these people, I think it's safe to say, are going to burn in hell for this. And I want you to just open your heart a whisker, just a little bit of emotion for the terrified 14-year-old girl from China, from Thailand, from Russia, who is here as a sex slave, literally the slave of a mafia-type organization who is being sold like chattel property. And Planned Parenthood sides with the predator, with the pimp. And by the way, these clips that we're playing on the way out of these segments, these are actual recorded phone calls. Thank you, Mark Crutcher, Life Dynamics, childpredators.com. You're hearing the phone calls where Planned Parenthood employees say that they'll help cover up the crimes of a child predator. I'll be right back.
Because you go in front of a judge and then he grants permission for you to have an abortion without your parents finding out. My problem is that if I were you, and this is just strictly off the record, if I were you, I would not say anything about your boyfriend being 22 years old.
Friend, this TV show represents a mission. It's to be a voice of resistance to the evil in the land, but also to inspire people like you to take a stand at any level that you might be able to equip you, to inspire you, to challenge you, to give you the rhetorical ammunition that you need. But we still have to pay bills. This program, as you know if you're a regular viewer, we don't spend a lot of time raising money. We don't spend a lot of time saying, oh, you need to buy this and we're gonna run. No, we're bringing you a message, but we still have bills that we need to pay. I'm asking you, if you have been blessed by this show, to please go to our website or send a check to the address you see on the screen or call the phone number that you see on the screen and use your credit card and to give $50 or $100 or $500 just to help us meet our normal expenses. And we'll keep bringing you this hard-hitting show.
Because the women you serve know you and they trust you. And the reason for that is that you haven't let them down before.
Actually, all that clip has to say is that the pimps know you. The pimps trust you. The child predators know that you haven't let them down before. Planned Parenthood is more committed to crimes against women and babies, the murder of babies, than they are to protecting these young girls. All right, listen, I'm going to continue with this one more day, but let me finish by saying this. These are crimes. Now, in addition to these crimes against these young women, and if you've got small children in the room, you need to get them out. You need to remember that Planned Parenthood kills over 300,000 babies a year, like this baby, and this baby, and this baby. I know that these stories are difficult to hear. I know that these images are difficult to see. And again, I thank this network and these affiliates who are committed to telling the truth and are committed to not being a part of the cover-up. As far as we know, there's no other television show in America that is doing this kind of in-depth expose on Planned Parenthood and Obama's treachery against women and children. But it's not enough that we know the truth. We've got to hammer our politicians. We've got to tell our federal congressmen and senators and our state representatives and senators politely, if you vote to give our money to Planned Parenthood, we commit to you to take you out of office. You and I have to learn how to politely threaten people with their job so that this crime against women and the murder of babies doesn't continue. Be back tomorrow with our final segment. Friend, there you have it. I think that we should hate these evil deeds. I do. Yes, we can love the sinner. Yes, we can hope that they're forgiven, but we must have a true, genuine hatred, a repulsion we should be repulsed by what, a revulsion, apologize, We should be just disgusted by these things, and we should hate them. And if we don't hate deeds like this, if we can just say, oh yeah, it's really too bad, honey, give me a soda, there's something wrong with us. We need to repent, and we need God to revive our souls.